Hey everyone, this is Matt from drawingtutorialsonline.com. Welcome to another live stream practice session. In this session, we're going to be drawing this guy. Whoops, let me lower my volume here. This guy that has a pretty cool beard, and we're going to do our best to draw the texture of that beard and maybe get a little gritty with the character. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I usually draw, um, you know, females on my live stream. So let's do something different today. So what I'm going to be doing is just drawing. We're going to do a warm up here in a second. And if you want to get any paper, draw along with me. I'm basically using this very atypical paper you can find in any art supply store. It's Strathmore Drawing 400 series. It's about 80 pounds, and it takes some good abuse with the eraser. You can use any graphite pencil that you would want to use, and that is fine. Now, this afternoon, for members of drawingtutorialsonline.com, what I'm going to do is I'm going to digitally paint on top of my drawing and just go over some basic painting things. Absolutely. Hey, Bob. Yeah, it was good. It was good, and it's a long process of unpacking. They're in their mid 80s, so yeah, it's they sold their condominium to move into a smaller apartment, and it's weird the twists and turns that life takes us, and they just needed some help. Men with beards over here, I hear you. Okay, Paul, got you. All right, so that's enough of me, talking, and but yeah, it's funny how when you get older, you get tired. I know the feeling, but you get tired really quickly. Okay, so let's do this, and let me switch, and let me show you the reference here, and it's this one. Cool. Okay. There's our gritty guy with the beard. There you go. Now, before we do this, I need to warm up. I haven't drawn anything. Hey, Angelia, something different today. So I'm just going to get the feel of my pencil on the paper. Just kind of doing this oval, and then I want to dance down and do a couple more ovals. Really just trying to keep my pencil on the paper. And somebody had mentioned to me, hey, Carmela, welcome. You always go from right to left counterclockwise. And I do. And I need to practice going clockwise. It's just like when I was a young kid playing ice hockey. I used to go to ice hockey camps, and they would make us skate around the face-off circle different ways, like clockwise and counterclockwise, and everybody had their weakness. And then I was a defenseman, so we had to do it going backwards, and that really showed your weakness. So look at what I'm doing. I'm still going counterclockwise, so I need to go clockwise. Okay, so we've got some ovals. Good. And now let's do some lines of action. Let's do a letter C, an opposite letter C, one side of the oval, a letter C, an opposite letter C. Oh, this is interesting, doing it kind of curved like that. Opposite letter C, letter C. Okay, let's do some analytical stuff. Let's do like a shape. So, boy, I'm doing different shapes here today. Curved, straight. This is a good workout. I was watching a video last night on just kind of going through YouTube, and I clicked on a couple of bands, and now the algorithm is just giving me musical stuff. So all of a sudden, Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers came on for a short little snippet video, and he was talking about his warm-up, and it was this thing going down the bass, and he says he does it before every single playing session, and it keeps him like really fresh. So that's what I'm doing here. It's the same thing that like a musician would do, where Flea was doing, I don't know what he called it. Oh, microphone stand making noise. Oh, that's new. That's a new one. Okay. All right, that's enough for the warm up. So that's what I like to do. I like to do these ovals. I like to do these small circles. I like to do lines of action. I like to do my opposite C rhythm lines going down. And I like to draw shapes and try to draw the same shape again. And then, yeah, so another thing that I ask my students to do, um, hey, Sandy, welcome. And I like to make them feel what it's physically like to constantly lift your pencil off of the page and to try to draw the ovals with constantly lifting your pencil off the page for every tenth of a second. And I find that this is not a good way to draw for nobody. And this is how most people draw when they're beginning, or if they're, not warmed up, or they haven't drawn in a week or so. We revert back to this chicken scratch. I don't. I do when I'm doing a demonstration in front of the class. I'll admit that, if I haven't done a demo in a long time, or if it's a new class and my ego's getting in the way and I'm trying to impress the new students, I'll start to lift my pencil off the page. Poisoned Violet. Did we switch our name, Poisoned Violet? It was good. It was good. So no more octopus thing. Yeah, I have it on my post-it note. No more four-headed octopus. Okay. All right. I think we need to get drawing here. That's enough of me messing around. Okay. And oh yeah. All right. No more warm-up paper. Let's move this. And okay, part of my screen is showing over here. Ooh. Okay. Let me see if I can't zoom in a little bit more and block that. Okay. Cool. Well, is it showing? Boy, what up with the ads here? No, it's not. Okay, let me get my sheet of paper. So the thing with the paper that you just need to be aware of is mark the front of it. And because the tooth of, I don't know, it's whatever YouTube displays. um, I like to mark the front of the paper because the back of this paper, the Strathmore 400 series, has no tooth. It's god awful, and I've drawn on it by accident, um, because I've just kind of ripped it out of the pad and I wasn't thinking. But now, I'm very, very conscious that I know I'm in slow motion. Just give me a second here. I'm trying to line up the paper. Okie dokie. All right, here we go. Man with a beard. Man with a beard. Let me resharpen that pencil. And I'm going to, my photo reference is on my iPad. Okay. Yeah. All right. So now what I like to do is mark the top of my paper on the video screen. So I know, and then where's the bottom of my paper? So this is fine. And just for context, like people always ask me about this. What's the size that you're drawing, Matt? Well, my live area right now is only like 7 inches by roughly. Yeah, my computer screen is showing. Interesting. So what I'm going to do is bear with me. Oh my God, I'm out of practice with this live stream. Take a week off to help your parents. And oh, I see what's going down. I see what's going down. Okay. Take a week off to help your parents and the shit hits the fan. All of a sudden you forget how to film live streams. Okay. Now I'll mark this one more time. So I see this guy with the beard. And how are we going to start? Got all those strands of hair over there. What I'm going to do is basically, do I have enough room here? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Good. I'm drawing the top of our character's hair without this flip up thing. Okay. And then I see an angle for the front of the hair that's coming on down. Okay. Now, this is a curved angle. Okay. And so now I'm doing the back of his head, the back of the hair. And he reminds me of a young version of my father-in-law who was born in Norway. So yeah, he has that Norwegian kind of vibe. Okay, so yes and yes. Okay, now those are the angles for the hair. Okay, cool. And now what I'm gonna do is draw the forehead. Angle in for the brow bone, eye socket. How far away is it from here to here? Okay, just glancing, acknowledging that distance. Now, the bridge of the nose and the nose. Now, does the nose protrude out from the brow? Slightly, but I haven't. Yeah, okay. Now, if this is where the coat starts, the collar of the blue coat, um, the nose is lower than that. Okay, so a couple of quick little tweaks. Now we're just looking at the mustache part of the beard, and it's even with the tip of the nose. And I'm looking at this little triangular negative space. So then this part of the beard, the mustache part, is extremely manicured. And then the lip is in to the left. Okay, so let's get that. And let's angle in. So far, all I'm doing is I'm drawing these angles. Okay, now hold on. Now, time out, people. I want to take my grayscale and I want to use it as a measuring stick, and I want to put it on my iPad, and that mustache is slightly to the right of the brow. Is my mustache slightly to? Yes, I'll take that all day long. Now, this needs to be parallel with the edge of your sheet of paper, or else it doesn't work. Okay. Now, let's do the beard part. How long is that? I think I have, this needs to be lower. I don't want to, I'm going to lower the mustache part. Thus, I'm going to lower the lip. And thus, I'm going to lower the beard. Okay, cool. Now, same thing. Now, what we could do, my friends on YouTube, we could come on in with a connector line from the hair, back of the hair, to the bottom of the beard. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Okay, cool. So now I'm a big believer in not just drawing the head floating without the neck. So in this particular instance, the neck is represented by the clothing. So it's just, we need something. Now, I could exaggerate the collar and yeah, actually now that I'm thinking back, my wife used to call her father like the Gordon's fisherman. Yeah, so we could make a really big collar. Yeah, okay, I digress. There's something very off back over here. But I just wanted to put the collar there, and I want to put the other side of the jacket over there. Okay, so that's my first go through. That's my first go through. So now, after your first go through, if you have coffee, you need to stop. this is a special drawing technique and you need to take a sip of your coffee. Or if you have water, this is your special drawing technique. You need to take a sip of your water. How long did we spend on that? Well, Jesus Christ, it's already 10:15. I'm doing way too much talking. Okay, so basically, let's just say that took us 5 minutes. Okay, yeah, the warm up took us that took us less than 5 minutes to do the angles. Doesn't really look like them at all, but now let's start all over again, and let's do the second go through. So in my second go through, I would like a really, really, really super duper sharp pencil for this. I'm going to go through the hair once again. I'm lowering the collar. I'm getting the top. This is so far away from me. This is when I hate filming because my head can't be in the camera. And so I need the drawings to be so freaking far away from my head that it's so annoying. Okay, so yes, there's no crying in baseball, Matt. Okay, so now we've got our couple of strands of loose hair. The loose hair should not dictate the angles. That's just loose hair. Okay, so my next step that I really enjoy doing and I get good results with it is I don't just live on the edge, because that can play trickery on your brain when you just live on the edge in life and in drawing. So now I'm going to start with some interior. So I'm coming on in and I'm trying my very best to get the edge of the hair on the interior of the gritty beard man, we're going to call him. Okay, so then I see that this could be a little bit taller, but I don't want to start mucking with that too much right now. So then I'm coming on down and I'm looking at the forehead. And I'm getting the gray part of the hair that comes down. And now I'm going into the beard. And bottom of the ear. Bottom of the beard. Into the mustache section of the beard. Okay. I don't feel like I've got a likeness. Usually I can see the likeness even at this stage of the game. But, just stick with it. If you're looking at your drawing right now and you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? This is horrendous. No, just keep sticking with it. So now I'm going to look at the ear to the collar. Not that I have the collar perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but hey, you got to start somewhere. So I feel that this has got to come down. And yeah, I'm going to just place the ear for now. Okay. It's not perfect, but hey, let's keep drawing. So now my next thing is I need, so what did we do so far? Official recap. Hey, sir, my man. We started with big macro angles. We ignored the strands of hair. We did macro angles. We did the forehead, nose. We did one or two like little measurement things across from the collar, what's right below from the brow. Okay. We also did a long connector line from the collar into the bottom of the beard. And yes. Now, okay, I'm predicating all of what I'm doing on how to get a likeness, but I kind of feel like I don't care about a likeness today. I care about like a good drawing. But, somebody had mentioned, that I was griping too much a couple of weeks ago about the likeness. It's just know your why. Like, why are you drawing? People draw for different reasons. I'm drawing because One of my main reasons is I just absolutely love the challenge of getting the likeness of the person. That's fun for me. So it's a big part of what I like to do. Okay, that doesn't need to be you. All right, now let's just do more inside. And so I'm looking at this part of the hair in relationship to this part of the eyebrow. So something's off. Oh, I see it. Okay. So, oh yeah, that forehead needs to stick out. This dude's got a huge brow bone. So I'm going to redraw what I've drawn. I'm pushing the nose out more. And before I go erasing everything, I'm just going to leave it. And I might become part of this eyebrow. Now, oh, look at this shadow, how close it is to the edge of the bridge of the nose. Extremely close, almost touching it. And let's look at the distance from the bottom of the nose to this shadow. Now the eyelid to the brow of the nose. And I'm gonna get the lower eyelid. And I'm not going to draw the eye right now. I'm just going to draw the eye socket. And let's get the other eyebrow value into the lash. Okay, cool. Now, I am going to erase out this line. And let me get the mono zero. That eraser did nothing. Okay. Good. Okay, so now I need to look at this. I need to back up. Hold on. So when I backed up and I looked at my drawing, I noticed that my head's a little bit too wide. So, okay, fair enough. So now my job is to adjust as I go. So what I'm going to do is just cling on to an easy area, which is the forehead brow bone. Let me just resharpen the pencil. And let me put this over here for a second. Okie dokie. So forehead, brow bone. This should be easy right now. Lash. Bridge of the nose. Nose. Lower portion of the nose. And I'm not drawing the nostril. Instead, I'm drawing the shadow under the nose as a unit. Like, I didn't draw the eye, I drew the eye socket, right? So, okay, now the ball of the nose comes out a little bit more. And now I'll revisit the mustache part of the beard. And I'm going to curve this way. This is the second time I'm adjusting the mustache lower. Interesting. Hey, this is what happens when you don't draw portraits every week. You get out of practice, for sure. 1 second. Okay, so now I'm going to Lower lip, once again. It's to the left of the bottom of the beard. And angles. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to just focus in on the face for a little while. So I'm going to do the edge of the hair. Little balding over here. So I'm looking at the skin. I'm going to raise this up. Okay. And I think now I'm going to add a little bit of shape to this hair. So I'm just very loose with it. Angle, angle. I'm going to raise this up higher. That's better. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I've got like a lot of mistake lines over here. So I'm just going to shade this hair of value. I'm not worried about blades, strands of hair. I'm just worried about blocking in tone. So I'm just, getting a middle tone in here. And this will help me with my drawing for sure. Don't worry about strands of hair. Just worry about blocking in tone. Now, I don't want to crowd the face. Good. Okay. And so this is very light, the gray part of the beard. I know, I think I have something like that. And then from the mustache, this starts at the edge of the nose, so we can place that. And, yep. Okay, cool. And let me just see one thing here. Okay. I'm going to, add more value. Lately, I've just been really wanting to do this all a little bit more painterly and not so like perfect. I don't know. I don't know if that means my portrait drawing style is changing a little bit, but I just like drawing more painterly as of late. So this beard is going to blend right into the coat. And okay, so let's indicate the edge of the beard. So I'm going to make this under the zygoma bone. It's called the zygoma bone, your cheekbone. Right here, a little darker than the beard. And this goes very coolly into this part of the eye socket. This why I don't draw guys nearly enough. They're so much easier than women. Because I could do all this information. I would never do this like on a young girl if I'm going to draw their face like that. I'd never do that line there. So Carmela, today is a good day that you can do all the lines, all the smile lines, frown lines to your heart's content. It doesn't matter on a guy. That's just my philosophy. Still being painterly. This mustache could be longer. Again, I'm lowering this for Pete's sakes. Gee whiz. Okay. Um, all of drawing is constantly being in the mindset of drawing. And when you stop drawing, even if it's for a week, it will just come back to bite you in the butt, because most of drawing is not the knowledge, it's the eye-hand coordination. So you can know what to do, but if you haven't drawn in a week, 2 weeks, um, it's going to catch up to you, and you're going to need that time to warm up and kind of get back into it. And you're seeing that happening to me right now. Here's a question. Hey, Matt, I have a question. Back in the day when you were doing illustration commissions, how did you balance a likeness of a character subject with the dynamic poses of storytelling illustrations? Well, in a nutshell, that's what I was hired. That what like everybody is hired for a reason. So if we use like a sports analogy, I am hiring this person to become part of my team. I'm drafting them because they're really, really good at playing defense. And now I'm going to draft somebody else for my team because they're really, really good at complementing this other person who plays defense really well. But this other person that I'm hiring is an offensive defenseman. So now I'm very crystal clear as to why I'm hiring these two people. So the reason why I was hired was because I painted kids' faces really cutely, I guess. I painted them really well. And if it was a magazine article, if it was book interiors, if it was a picture book, I was able to get the likeness of the character in every single pose and every single dynamic pose. So that was my main skill. My main skill was not doing super duper complicated scenes. My main skill was not gesture and movement. My main skill was being able to paint the character to look the same in many different positions under many different light sources. And so, in essence, I was really good at getting a likeness and really good at keeping the likeness and understanding the attributes of that particular model, what made them them. So that was like my main skill set. Uh, I don't know if that answered your question, but it's not just, you don't do that one way. Like, you do that multiple ways. So one way I would retain the likeness of the character is through making sure the value of their hair was always going to be the same value, and the value of their skin tone was always going to be the same value. Like, for one painting of the character, they weren't going to have like orange skin, and then the next painting of the character, they weren't going to have like red skin. Like, I always had the right value, right color. Hope that helped. Um, I will try my best. Thanks. I am also out of practice after 2 weeks. Yep. A lot of the eraser. So, my man, I hope that answered your question. I just want to focus in on this eye socket and not the eye. So one of the things that, if you're looking to get into the commercial art world, which is a very difficult thing to do, it was difficult when I did it, now it's even more difficult, is to know what you're offering to the client. The clarity of who's going to hire you and why. That stuff is just very important, for sure, for a multitude of reasons that I won't get into on this live stream. So back to this, I'm just doing a little bit more detail in the eye socket. Side of the nose. So I did suggest a little bit of the iris pupil thing. I'm not drawing the nostril. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this afternoon in my Zoom class. I'm gonna show the students how I would go about digitally painting this, and I will mix out digitally the value strings for the skin tone and my background, for sure. So I'm gonna try to relate it to how I would oil paint, um, and it's gonna be good. It's like almost like an intro into digital painting on top of your underdrawing, which is what we're doing right now. Now, this eye is very far away from the bridge of the nose. You got it. Uh, so just to follow up, sir, my man, with that, it's being clear on what your main skill set is that you offer to potential clients, and knowing what your position is, so to speak, on the team. And I tell the students in my classes in the animation department at SVA all the time, because I teach like a class in every class, which is a business class for artists, and I do usually do it at the end of the semester. And one of the things that I stress to the students is to write a sentence that clearly describes their career in detail. And I had that, and it's really important to do that. Okay. Because some people, like, you can't just be vague. It can't just be, oh, I want any job in the animation world. I don't care. I'll take any job. So what does that mean? You're going to be, doing administrative work? Well, maybe you are to get your foot in the door. I don't know, but that's too vague. Like, you need to be a little bit clearer. Not that there's anything wrong with the administration work, but if you want to do the animation, well, then you need to be very, very clear on that, and not no vagary. It's the same thing with your drawings. Like, just understand what your goal is with your drawings. Why are you doing your drawings? Like, why? Um, Very important. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely a little bit more in a painterly mindset today. Now, at this point in the game, what I need to do is grab my brush. And paint. And this saves so much time. For me, if I'm going to be, is this? Yeah. Okay. So you don't need to do this, but it works for me because the Col-erase pencil is not a good all-around pencil. It's good for me, but it's not great for shading in a short period of time, and I would consider this live stream a short period of time. So I use the brush because it speeds along the process of trying to match these values. And it also makes it softer, which I like, because I like more of an atmospheric drawing and not such a stiff outlined piece. Okay, let's see. How long have we been at this? Oh, we're good. 40 minutes. Okay. So push, push, push. Push that pencil into the tooth of the paper. Just lose an edge into the coat. We didn't match the values yet. We're just starting to block in some values. And the other beautiful thing about this is if I blend the whole beard right now with this residual, let's just call it graphite, even though it's not graphite, on the brush, then I can just easily pull out with the mono zero eraser and create, the gray hair. I'm really talking down to this. First I said they had a bald spot. Now I said they have gray hair, but they look good. They look good. It's all good. I have the same, but worse. I don't look like this guy. This guy's, I guess you'd call him like a stud with the beard and the whole 9 yards. The cool coat, the cheekbone, the jawbone, the tattoo. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. I need a bigger brush. I'm destroying that brush. Okay. Push, push, push. Now, I'm going to just also, got to be careful with this. I think I've got graphite on this, but screw it. So I'm going to push with this. So we're also making this portrait soft. We'll go, now we're going to layer on top of it. Okay. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Okie dokie. Now, time for a little drink of water. And I'm going to look at this from far away. He's still too wide. I am just using a very, very cheap, inexpensive Strathmore 400 series drawing paper. Nothing fancy. Okay. I hate doing that with the eraser, but he's too wide. Okay. Also, background tone would help. All right. Where do I start here? I'm going to start here. Yeah, I guess I use pretty pedestrian art materials. I'm not like stretching my paper and doing all that crap. I like the immediacy of just drawing on paper, that you don't have so much prep. Like I've done so much prep like my whole life, pre-mixing paint, gessoing boards, all of that. And I find it's just such a huge barrier to just sitting down and drawing. I just like the simplicity of picking up a pencil and just sitting down and making it happen. Um, yeah, so that's why I've been there, done that. Right now, it's just about ease of use, just having fun, not so much preparation and cleanup. I just recently did an oil painting for my Zoom class for members on my website. And, the class ends at like 4, and there's basically a good minimum of a half an hour of cleanup. And all I can say is been there, done that my whole life. So I like just the immediacy of the pencil and just picking up the pencil, putting down the pencil, picking up the pencil, putting down the pencil, and not having to clean 20 paintbrushes and my palette and all that jazz. But, it's fine. I do it occasionally. So I'm trying to leave a middle tone value for the top plane of the eyebrow. And where is the corner of that white of the eye? I'm still trying to be painterly with it and not overly realistic. Um, and I still want to be more eye socket, less eye. Yeah. Okay. And I want to draw some of these crow's feet wrinkles for fun. Some surface plane lines. Blending the eye right into the shadow. They're one and the same. Okay, cool. And I just want to get rid of that white of the eye a little bit. It's too light. And a bushier eyebrow. Poison Violet. Any questions, Poison Violet? Okay, we're actually drawing the nostril. Every time I do the live stream, I always judge myself and say, do I have my likeness button turned on today? And no, I do not. I was wondering how you'd handle the gray on the back of the head when it comes to shadows versus values. Okay. So I'll do that like in a couple of minutes. So basically, this is going to be darker than the top, and there should be like I should have a little background tone, which I'll do momentarily, and then the top of the head is lighter than as it turns under. So I'll do that next actually. So over here, uh, MC, I will go darker. So MC, look, my pencil strokes are about um, an inch long over here. I don't want to go too short because I'm trying to get the vibe of the direction of the hair, and then you know who this person actually really looks like is this hockey player. I wonder if it's them, Joe Thornton from they used to be the San Jose Sharks, or oh boy, if I got the wrong team, the San Jose Shark fans are going to kill me, but uh, I don't know any San Jose Shark fans, so I think I'm safe. So, MC, what I'm doing is I am doing downward pencil strokes because all of the hair, MC, is basically vertical. So, some of my downward pencil strokes are curving. So, curving. Okie dokie. Now, in the grand scheme of things, what I have here is not dark. It's not. So, maybe I'll go a little bit darker near the ear area. Okie dokie. So, what I could do is I could do a generic tone in the background and feather it away. Um, and then MC, I'm going to come on down here with just a little bit of tone, which is off of the camera. So now I'm going to get this monster here and push. Gently. I'm not really pushing that hard. And now into the background. You don't want the background hugging the portrait too much, because then it almost looks like it's attached to the portrait and it becomes one with the head. So I should have gone up more with my pencil stroke direction, but it's fine. So now, MC, what I'm going to do here, there's not enough tone on the paper for me to be doing this, but I'll try. So I will, the top, pull out. The light is hitting here. It's more about the light than the gray, for sure. So I would go across, even though I don't have enough information down to be doing this just yet, but MC, are you fried on the semester a little bit, or am I projecting? I'm fried. I need to get a second wind with the semester. I definitely, I think the commute and this weather is really getting to me. Although today it's freezing. It's freezing outside. There was ice in my backyard, but it's sunny at least. Does that help a little bit? Again, I don't have enough value down on the board to be starting to use the eraser. The reason why I was asking about the likeness is because sometimes when I use a subject reference for an illustration, I get too bogged down with the likeness, and the characters end up stiff. Okay. So one thing, you have to ask yourself the question, what causes stiffness in my, whether it's my paintings or my drawings? So what causes stiffness is hard edges around everything. What causes stiffness is an outlining everything. So what causes stiffness is having no lost edge combined with no soft edge combined with no hard edge. So you in all of your artwork, you need to have a hard edge, a lost edge, and a soft edge. So maybe the reason why your characters feel like they're getting stiff is because you're stiffening up and trying to copy it too hard and not leaving an area a little less finished, thus being a little looser. So, for instance, like over here on this portrait right now, love it or hate it, doesn't really matter. This has no edge. This is absent of an edge right here. There's no edge between the hair and the background. Whereas I would call the forehead a hard edge and the nose a hard edge. And I would call the hair where it touches the face a soft edge. So like you need that. Like you positively, absolutely need that. Now, I'm sure that I did some. I'm not sure. I know for a fact that I did a lot of stiff illustrations, and my agents at the time, I would have to drop my paintings off at my agent's office. They would bring it to the publishing company so they can schmooze the art director and get me more work. So, and that was their job, to drop the jobs off, get me more work. And so I used to get so pissed off at my agents because they would criticize my work before they even brought it to the art director. And they would always say, "Oh, it's so stiff," and I had no idea what the fuck they were talking about. I'm like, "What? What do you mean? Could you, like, I didn't say this to them. Maybe I did, and it was so many years ago and I don't remember. but I just couldn't figure out like why my artwork was stiff. So I could do an entire class on how to avoid stiff artwork. It's not just what I talked to you about. It's so many things layered on top of one another. Um, okay, you got it. Thank you very much, MC. I have a lot of older male characters with beards, so this live stream is very useful. Okay. Yeah, I like drawing both male female characters for sure. Um, Traditional, I guess, will go down that path. But I also MC. I think I'm really good at drawing these guys, and I just don't do this enough. Because my philosophy is draw what you really love to draw, and yeah, so you can see what I love just by looking at my YouTube channel, and um, for sure, for sure. Again, some people hate drawing people; they'd rather just draw landscapes, and that's what they love. So the sooner you find that out, the sooner you get to success. The more you struggle with the subject matter and constantly moving from one subject matter to the next subject matter to the next subject matter to the next subject matter, you never really solidify the subject matter that you adore drawing and painting. Sir, my man, hey, that's why I'm here. I've filmed hundreds of hours of video tutorials alone in my studio and talking to myself in a room. I am so bored with doing that. You have no idea. So this is so much more interesting to me to do live streams than to film video tutorials alone. I mean, I've been I haven't filmed a video tutorial alone in a very long time because I've done it for so many years since like 2006 that I hate it. Like, I don't enjoy it anymore. I like the back and forth of teaching live in the classroom, also in online, in Zoom and on YouTube. So I'd rather do this any day of the week than record myself in a quiet room talking to the walls. Basically, that's what you're doing. Um, I still don't have this dude's likeness. Okay. I can't wait to paint this thing digitally. This is going to be fun later. Absolutely. I'm going to I don't like the blue background. I'm going to make it gray. Yeah, I haven't even gone there yet with the ear and all of that. Um, yeah, for sure. The ear, I've barely. It's a little bit above the nostril, bottom of the earlobe. I haven't even touched it yet. I'm enjoying just focusing in on this eye area, and I didn't get that good either yet. So let's just say I'm in the beginning throes of this thing. I'll move to the ear in a minute or so. Um, Okie dokie. Let's see. Uh, let's see. What else can I do here? So and this really cool mustache, just blending into the nostril value. Also funny remembering how the class was asking about drawing older models since a lot of the models. Yeah, well, like that cuts both ways, MC. That cuts both ways because um, not all, but some older models don't have dynamic poses, and they tend to do the same standing up and down poses. So that's the primary difference between hiring like a young dynamic performer, dancer, that type of model versus an older person. Um, some, the models at SVA whom are older are pretty damn dynamic for sure. But yeah, so there's that. There's that. Now that's a huge generalization, and that's not fair, but it's a generalization in some of the experiences that I've had at SVA. Um, yeah, I've also had some younger models who just stood up. Um, in the past, I didn't request certain people; I just let them send whomever, and that was a huge mistake. Uh, now I only ask for certain people, and they're all pretty much dancers, performers, and so much more interesting to draw these people. Plus, I love drawing the figure for anatomy, and I like seeing more muscles and bones, and so that's another reason for that. But I'm being very generic, so I'll stop right there. I love right before the whole C word thing from back in the day, 2001. We had a model come in with a baseball hat that they wore backwards, and they had a beard. One of the best life drawings I've ever done. Effortless. It was just so freaking fun to draw that person. Okay, Bob. Matt, for the beard, are you putting down light upper part and darker values lower, then combination of painterly with individual lines? Yeah, for sure. So, Bob, really what I should be doing, but I'm just not, is I should be putting more pencil down where I'm putting my brush so I can erase out the white. I'm leaving that intentionally blank for now, but I guess I should work on it. So I'm going to do some light strands, and light strands, and then this is very dark over here. Uh, okay, what time is it? It's 11 o'clock. I've been sitting in this chair for 1 hour, people. I need to stand up. I need to stand up. I need like 60 seconds to stand up, get a drink of water, and reset my eyes. So you'll just indulge me here while I take a bathroom break. And yes, I will be right back. Make sure to flush. You got it. Absolutely. Okay, we're back. And this is fun. I definitely am having fun drawing this dude here. And what did I do with my... There we go. I'm going to switch pencils. It's same pencil, just different pencil. Because that pencil feels very hard today. Yeah, this one I can notice it already is a little bit softer. So I'm trying to, when I put these lines down, I'm trying to be deliberate. This is going to take me forever. Holy Moses. Okay. And let's tackle that ear. So when I hold my pencil, oops. If this is where I think the nostril is, the bottom of the ear is slightly higher than the nostril, or top of the nostril, pretty much. And if this is the sideburn, so look at the distance from here to here. Part of the inside of the ear, earlobe, tilt of the ear. I think I'm going to move the ear over to the right. So this part of the ear is in shadow. And right about here on that eyebrow, top of ear, I don't have enough pencil on the paper to be erasing, but yeah, okay. I still feel like this could be higher. Damn it. Okay. That's going to be a bitch to erase. I just pressed down pretty hard there. Yeah, that looks like Joe Thornton. Oh my God. I can't believe I'm drawing like a... they retired. Um, yeah, so MC this week is week 10. I can't believe it. So week 10 for me is the downhill week. It gets so much easier in my perspective backgrounds class because week 10 is cityscapes. Then we do landscapes in perspective, and then we do vehicles, and then we do animals in perspective, and then we do a props class. So it's very fun and easy compared to some of the other things that we've done that are way more difficult. Okay. Um, oh, I see what I'm doing here. Okay. Just gray dating away with a collar. That's a time thing. Oh my God. You better go to sleep on Thursday night. Like, last class, 2 people fell asleep in class. They go to bed at like freaking 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. You better not do that to me, MC. You better go to sleep at a normal hour. Because it's pretty tough in room 706C. I mean, I give out really good information in that class, but it's still 9 a.m. and it's still 9 a.m. on Friday, which is the end of the week, and we're all tired. So there's a couple people in there who always have energy, but just I hope you go to bed at a decent time because that's a no joke um, time at the end of the week for people. Even I'm tired on Fridays for sure. It's a long week. It's a grind. Um, okay. Yeah, and no, and MC, um, those classes have 20 people each. So the critique is brutal, brutal, brutal. Yeah, the only other so my 3 to 6 class on Friday is already closed in the fall. It's open in the spring. I don't know if it's going to run. There's not enough students for it to run right now. With like 5 more students, it would run. But yeah, I'm not worried whether it's going to run or not. It's less income for me, but at the same time, I've been teaching perspective a lot, perspective and backgrounds, and yeah, so it could be a different vibe with not having that class that week, and maybe I can teach a class at the museum or something like that. Okay, how we doing, YouTube? Any questions? Well, just understand that if you take the 9 to 12, you have to be disciplined to go not to go to sleep after 1 a.m. because I know art students just love to stay up very late. 1 a.m. is too late, but I'm trying to be realistic. Okay. How we doing, YouTube? How we doing out there? Just doing a little bit of the edge of this beard here. I'm trying to, I'm still thinning out the face. Still doing that. Just doing the underside as it's starting to turn under. So you can squint and just really try to see the simple darks versus the simple lights because there's so much information. Uh, really dark in this section. So, MC, while we're having this chat here, would you prefer like longer poses in our classroom or? When you doing your pencil strokes for this dude's beard, just try to have the pencil strokes go with the way that the hair is growing, and flowing is a different way to say that. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of wrinkles over here, crow's feet, just because it's fun. The one thing that I did forget with this live stream is that hair takes a long time. It's just taken me a little bit longer here today to block in all these values. Um, so don't go too dark in the ear, just suggest shapes. Over here, there's a shape. You're much better off going a mid-tone than a dark. Um, so you wrote there, I'm biased though. I'm learning a lot between the difference between drawing and animating, and learning that I come from a drawing background in art. Thank you, Manab Takuri R8C. I'm sure I said that wrong. Yeah, so I just think it's so valuable to be able to, like, almost like a car, like they call it, like um, a hybrid, where it runs partially off of a battery and it runs partially off of gas. So I think it's important for you to be able to switch between drawing fast and gestural in the animation department, and then slowing down and observing more and taking your time and drawing more details. I think people just get too caught up with one or the other. And I think you are a better all around artist when you can do both. I know that I got so much better when I started concentrating on doing both working fast and short, and long and studied. So I think, yeah, they could be separated, but I think you definitely want to do both, and you will be much, much more of a well rounded artist if you do both. Um, I always eyeball proportions. So eyeballing is taking a measurement. So what's right below a definitive edge of the brow bone? What's right below that? What is right across from the top of the ear, bottom of the ear? What's the distance from the back of the ear to the back of the hair versus, the front of the ear to the front of the nose? What's the distance from this shadow to the edge of the hair? And this is, sir, my man, this is what I was just talking about with MC, aka Poisoned Violet. um, is that you have to do both. You have to draw fast and gestural to see proportions quickly. Because if you just do these like 10-hour drawings and you're just too slow. Like the gesture drawings enable you to see proportions quickly. And I've done thousands upon thousands upon thousands of 2-minute gesture poses. It's how I start every single class that I teach. Let's do gesture poses. It's basically a warm up. And so when you do that, you train your eye to see proportions fast versus a class that has a model for 6 weeks. It's 6 hours a class, and it takes them 6 hours to get the proportions. And I'm like, no good. That is way too slow. You could be faster. And the way that you get faster is by doing quick poses, and you try to draw the whole body in 2 minutes. And it's not a drawing thing; it's a vision thing. You're training your vision, and so I think it's very important to do that. Okay, so this is darker than the beard. Artist from Nepal. Wow, Nepal. Oh my God, that's cool. I don't know too much about Nepal, but is that where you have those big, huge mountains? Now, remember my philosophy, people. In order to have this light and this light, you need dark. So I'm trying to be um, mindful of that. I could probably work on this thing for 4 hours today, and I still wouldn't be finished. The hair just takes a long time. Any questions, YouTube? Any questions, YouTube? um, God, I can sit here forever doing this. This is just going to take too long today. My God, I'm in slow motion, but I am having fun with it. It's so much more forgiving drawing a guy like this than a female. It's so much more forgiving. Feel like when I'm drawing the female, like everything has to be so like perfect. And with this person, I don't really care about being perfect with it. Um, you have so much more room for error um, with the beard, with the eyebrows, with everything. But this does take longer because I feel like I'm normally much further along than this. There's just way more to draw here. I'm just trying to look for some distinctions over here between the eye and the eye socket. You don't want to overwork this. But at the same time, I definitely need a little bit more here. I would like this all to be much darker. For some reason, I'm just not enjoying the feeling of this paper today. It's feeling a little chintzier than what I am used to. I think it's just me. Um, it has to be almost 2.5, 2 hours and 45 minutes, maybe. The problem is that I have a live Zoom class at 2. So, you don't think this is exhausting, but when you're sitting here for 2 hours talking and drawing, which I'm not complaining, I'm just stating a fact. Um, After you're done, you're like, oh my God, Jesus, why do I feel worn out? Because it's a lot. It's a lot. You're answering questions, you're thinking on your feet, you're looking at proportions, and yeah, all that combined does make you tired mentally. But I love this, and so I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Um, so I would like to continue working on this for as long as I possibly can here. Yeah, I mean it's up for replay. It'll be up for replay for sure. Leg kicks, toe crunches, anything you can to move your body. Yeah, I'm bad with that. Um, I when I'm sitting, I'm sitting. Like I try to move and be mindful of movement as much as I can because I cannot even. I'm embarrassed about the amount I sit when I go into the city to teach at the college. Sitting in my car, driving to the train station. I'm sitting on the commuter train going into Manhattan. I'm sitting in front. Well, Wednesday I don't sit. I stand at an easel. But in my other classes, I'm sitting in front of a computer screen. So I'm very, very conscious that when I'm not drawing, I'm moving all day long. And my latest thing that I'm really into is air squats, body weight squats after eating um, to burn insulin and sugar. That's one of my latest things that I enjoy doing. And yeah, I try to do 25 to 30 in a row, and then I try to do like another 25 and that's really helpful. Hear my knees creaking. Um, okay. Del Monte green beans, a name from the blast from the past. I remember Del Monte. Batman 99. I have a question. Do you need a social media to improve your art? And I heard quitting social media helps you to improve your own art. Yes and yes. Let me explain. So, um, I teach a business class to artists because I've been in business as an artist since 1990. And it's a lot of iterations, pre-computer, pre-social media, post-social media. It's not post-social media, but with social media, I should say. And I've done it all, and I've made tons of mistakes. And so let's just talk about 2026 and not 1995 or 2002. And let's just talk about 2026. Yes, it's my opinion that you absolutely need a social media. Um, and my recommendation is you choose two and you stick with two, not five, not six. Choose two. And for me, it's one of them should be long form content and one of them should be short form content. So that would be my short answer. I can elaborate and I can talk about this for hours. Um, I don't consider myself a social media marketing expert now, but I was in the past when everything was a little bit simpler. Um, but I definitely have a lot of experience, and so this is the commonsensical thing that I've come to right now, is that I'm only really using two social medias, and that is YouTube and Instagram, long form, short form. And so the second part of your question is, if you quit social media, does it help you to improve your art? So let's reframe that in a different way and look at it from a different lens. Um, if you want to use social media to help promote your art, it's not about giving up social media. It's about being more of a content creator and less of a content consumer. So let me repeat that because I know that kind of sounded way too simplistic. But people wind up being content consumers where you're just mindfully doom scrolling and just randomly watching any video that pops up in your feed. That's called consuming content. But you need to keep social media because you need to be a content producer, and you need to interact with people who interact with your content. So that's my short answer. I can't go into it any more than that. But I just feel like even the last 2 days, I've wanted to delete my Instagram because I feel like Instagram is just the doom scrolling addictive part of social media. And when I go on Instagram, I'm way too much of a content consumer. I'm getting too tight with this beard right now. It's not looking good. So it's very important that you understand the difference between those two, and that will help you. I'm not saying to never, mindlessly doom scroll on Instagram or TikTok, whatever the heck you use, but that's when it's detrimental when you do that too much, and you're not conscious that you've just wasted, a half an hour of your life doom scrolling on Instagram or TikTok, and that's when things go sideways for sure. Hope that helped. Yeah, I know. When I turn away from the mic, this mic is good and it's bad. It's good because you don't hear everything going on in my house, but it's bad because I always need to keep my mouth against the microphone. So it's a double-edged sword. Okay. Um, Yeah, it's a monster, no doubt. How many students have you had that come into art, drawing stuff like fan art, or have had students that have had a decent social media following coming in? Um, I would say there's always like a student who joins my class who has been doing art for years and they have a social media following, but it's like maybe 1 to 5% of students. Um, I find, so let me give you the flip side, MC. So I find that the most talented students more so have no social media. Like there's a couple students that are the most talented students I've ever seen having no social media whatsoever, and I love that, and that proves that they've been spending more time on their art and less time looking at other people making their art, and not distracted by social media and actually uh, having more time to develop their own craft. So again, let me repeat that, because again, some of these things that I'm saying, they're really important, and I'm just kind of blowing through this stuff. Some of the most talented students that I have ever had have no social media. Like I'll do a sketchbook video with them, and I'm like, "What's your social media?" Like, I don't have one. I'm like, "That's why we did a sketchbook video." And they look at me very funny. They're like, "What?" And yeah, I'm like, "Cause you're actually doing your art. You're not looking at other people doing their art." Um, like, social media is just a necessary evil. But again, if you come into it with the mindset of being balanced, which is very hard, that the balance should be off balance. It should be that you're spending, if you want to do art as a career, you're spending more time making content, not consuming content. That should be the balance. All right, sir, my man. Thank you for joining. Got to jump off, but just want to say I've been watching content on YouTube since high school, and you're a big reason I'm an illustrator today. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for that. Nice. Organic, Paul. How much does the personality or image of the artist go towards being successful? Um, I'm just gonna lay it out how I see it and let the cards fall where they may. I like I think no. I think your portfolio is the biggest contributing factor to your success. So for me, I had no connections, no nothing. What got me an actual agent to start my career was my portfolio, and it it doesn't matter what your personality is, how much of an artist you are. It's about your body of work. That's just my opinion. I'm a little old school, um, but it's your body of work. And so, a new iteration of how I've been teaching with my students. Some of them still haven't uploaded their work to their Drive folder, and you know who you are. Uh, where in the beginning of the semester, I look at individual homeworks, right? This is more from my illustration backgrounds class, perspective and backgrounds class, which could be an illustration class. It's the same thing. And now I say, okay, every painting, digital painting that you do for my class, you have to put it in your Google Drive folder. So towards the end of the semester, we start to look at your body of work to see if it's consistent. And we look for trends. So that's what I've been doing lately, and that has you as an individual and how I talk with you, and how we have a conversation is different than your body of work. When an art director sees your body of work on your website, they're not going to be having face-to-face conversation with you. So your personality or your image, um, I don't. I think of it just a different way because I'm just going from what gave me success. It was 1,000% my portfolio and my body of work, and the art director looking at the body of work and saying, "Oh, this person is going to fit with my company, and this person would be great illustrating our next series of books." And so it doesn't. They could have loved my personality, but if I sucked at painting and drawing, it didn't really matter. Hope that helped. Um, oh boy. Okay. Del Monte green beans. Hold on now. Gee whiz. He's still too wide, this person. I need to flip his hair up a little bit more, make him taller. And that beard at the bottom is very stiff. Um, yeah, what's on the page has to rock. Yes. Laugh out loud. I know how you could explode the channel, but it probably wouldn't be the crowd you prefer. Expand, Del Monte green beans. AI is detrimentally um, affecting student mindset in colleges in a very, very big way. It's it's on all of their minds, and it's a thing. I don't know if I want to get into that right now on this live stream because I need to make this drawing look good. But um, so Del Monte green beans, what do you mean? Wouldn't be the crowd? Do you mean like career versus drawing, or um, like career stuff? Because yeah, because there's people who draw who don't care about a career. They're just doing it for a hobby. And then there's people who draw because they want to work as a professional artist in one form or the other: fine arts, portrait arts, illustration, animation, cartooning, all that stuff, comic books. Oh boy, the beard. God. Okay, let me do this. Let me get the good old. What time is it? Oh my God, we're in this hour and 45 minutes. I feel like I'm just kind of getting started. Um, well, it wouldn't be the audience that are here to learn. Okay, got you. Um, I could really talk big time about career stuff. It's one of my favorite topics for sure. Um, but if whatever you want to do as a career in the arts, if that's what you want to do, it just basically starts with a portfolio, um, and a clarity of mindset as to who is going to hire you, whom are you going to work for, what is your style and subject matter. The list goes on and on. But yeah, like right now, I don't really talk on YouTube about career stuff. I talk about, you know, pencils, paper, paintbrushes, stuff like that. Just drawing for the sake of the love of drawing. So I mean, I'm going to digitally paint on top of this drawing later today in class, in my Zoom class for members of my website. And so I'll be using technology. But I would say the people who join me here on YouTube are doing this because you just really like drawing with a pencil. I see it brush shade into the beard near his jawline. Okay, for sure, for sure. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's gonna be actually very fun because I'll treat this like an under drawn like a traditional oil painting type thing, and then just there's a brush that I use that feels traditional. Hold on, and I love this brush. Like I draw the figure with it in class, but then I paint with it. And I wouldn't even consider myself. I consider myself a painter, but not like a professional digital painter. I'm sure I don't have a body of work, but I enjoy digital painting for sure. I work digitally all the time in the classrooms. Pattern of the shirt. I I think yes. If MC, if I had all the time in the world, that would be a very it. What the pattern of the red flannel shirt is an opportunity for visual diversity, which is all the cues of visual diversity is line, tone, pattern, texture, shape. The list goes on and on. But the pattern of the shirt would be an opportunity to add another visual element to this drawing, which is pattern. So I would say yes. Do the pattern shirt because not only would it add more visual diversity to your drawing, but it just looks like it's really fun to do for sure. So what I'm trying to do here is feather the drawing out um, from the beard down under the cheekbone. Got you. Thank you for that clarity, Del Monte. Del Monte green beans just reminds me of like my youth in the 70s. So like I'll never forget. It was the mid 70s. I'm aging myself right now. I can't believe I'm going to tell you this story, but it's just reminded me. So 70s, we're talking like um, mid 70s. I don't remember exactly. And my mother used to make this thing. It was, I can't believe I'm going to say this. It was this like tuna casserole. So it would be like an aluminum foil pan, and she'd put like pasta in it with, the Del Monte green beans, but it was like the mixed ones with, the corn, the green beans, and the carrots, and either with chicken or some other thing in there. And I just remember, like, I used to love it. It was so good, but um, then she just stopped making it. Like, it went away like forever. I should tell her about it when I see her this weekend. Oh my God, that's so funny. Um, yeah, too much. And this is coming from a mom who emigrated here from Italy, who could hardcore like Italian food, but I was just like I wasn't from Italy. I was just a white kid on Long Island. So she had to make me things that I would actually eat, not like hardcore like Italian food. You got it, Bah Humdinger. We should be coming to a close soon here. Um, I still feel like it needs a boatload of work, but I think for a live stream, I think it's fine. I need to draw more dudes like this. I find it's just easier because with the young females, it's just one wrong line and everything goes into the hole. It's awful. But this one wrong line really makes the drawing look better, actually. I have spent no time on the forehead whatsoever. Yes, under pressure. It was the 70s, so it was the gas crisis time, I think. So everything was out of control. Okay, yeah, we'll go till 12 and like 7 more minutes, and then we'll call this one done for this class. Any other questions before? Oh my God, you're making me laugh here. Holy shit, I haven't laughed all week. That's so funny. Holy shit. I could go a little darker under the nose. And yeah, so I hope you got something from today's drawing. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. I got to do the YouTube thing. You got to see, I listen to YouTube all the time. Like, I don't really even watch TV. I watch YouTube, things that I want to learn. And it's either that or like sports, one of those two things. Like, I'm out of like Netflix series and all of that. I used to be into that, but I'm not into that right now in my life. But people get like aggressive, like, and every video, I said this on the last YouTube live stream, every video, these like YouTubers, they start like with the same sentence. It's like a script, and they've been saying the same sentence for so many years that like the words just blend together, and like they're really aggressive with, subscribing, the bell button, the this, to that. I mean, if you got some value out of today's class, sure, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you want to get notified when I post, because you want to see the beginning of how I start the drawings, and subscribe and hit the bell button. That's all I got for you. That's like my YouTube thing. Um, yeah, I bet. I bet. Yeah, it's all streaming now for sure. The like I we gave up like cable because like my hockey team, they stopped carrying my hockey team. So that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm done. And so I watch it on Fubu. Fubu isn't my favorite either, but it's how I can watch my favorite hockey team that I've been watching my whole life. And so, yeah, but grew up on cable for sure. Yeah, great model today. I need to do more of this. If you want to leave a comment in the comments section of the video, not the chat, if you enjoyed, because I'll look at the comments once the chat is done. I don't really revisit it. Um, I'll look at the comments, and if you want me to do more drawings like this, less pretty females, more gritty male, I could do that. Like I thought I was going to be able to do this faster today, and I wanted to also draw a view of this out of my imagination, like looking down with the beard. I kind of am visualizing it pretty clearly. So I thought that would have been a nice touch, but no, there's not enough time. Um, Thank you, MC. Thank you. I will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And we're doing how to draw animals in their environment, and we have a guy model. So it'll be a good class. No critique. What am I doing here? Okay. Will Surgeon or Sergeant. This I do believe this person is a hockey player, and their name is Joe Thornton. That's my educated guess. Yes. And it seems like everybody loves Joe Thornton. All right. Yep. See you, MC. Couple more. Gotcha. Gotcha. Lucky you. I'm a short Italian. Yeah. Yep. 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 I remember that. You just reminded me of the actual commercial. Monty. Oh my God. Jesus. Everything kind of flows. Everything's got like a little bit of a groove to it. Like Monty. Um, Del Monte. Pretty cool. I called my son Lucky. I've called him Lucky his whole life, but his name is Luke, so I call him Lucky Lukey. But lately he's driving me crazy, so there's no luck anymore. It's just, yeah. Okay. I digress. All right, people. I think that's it for today. And I'm going to take a little break. And then what I'm going to do is get ready for my next class. So let me switch cameras here. Yeah, so thank you so much, everybody, for hanging with me today and drawing. Maybe I'll do like a 3/4 view next week with a guy with a beard. Um, got you, got you. The thing with these types of photos is I like to buy all the photos that I use. Like I buy the photos that I use on YouTube from Graphit Studio, and I pay for the YouTube license. So I'm in the clear using them. Like when I get random photos like this, you never know. Um, you got it, Paul. Thank you so much for joining me here today. And one day, are these drawings, Paul? They're on your Instagram? Cool. All right. Yeah, there's just like a little delay. So that was fun. Thank you, Carmela. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in a little bit. And yeah, awesome. Not yet. Okay, got you, Paul. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Once again, thank you for joining me. If you haven't liked the video, like the video. If you want to subscribe, that would be awesome. And if you want to hit that bell notification, so when I go live, you will be notified and you can watch me from the beginning. And I usually stream on Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. I couldn't last week because I had to help my parents move. They're like 84, 86 years old, and they really needed help. So, yeah, I couldn't say no. I had to be there, and it just happened that it was on a Tuesday. Uh, Trust me, I'd rather be live streaming than helping to move stuff. You got it for Fernando. Thank you. Appreciate you joining me. Thank you, Monty. Thank you. You too. Be good. Be good. All right, everyone. Have a good week. I'll see you next Tuesday.